Ah, Destiny. One of the most hyped games of this year, and for some reason it failed. I can't actually imagine how it went so far. I mean, it was the game I actually waited for a long time after I heard about it. I mean, come on, it's Bungie! You know what Bungie did? They make great games! They're all great, although they were sequels to previous games, but still they were great. I mean, look at this, it's amazing. Flying around space on different planets, collecting loot, kinda reminds Borderlands, but much better. Yes, of course there are some problems with it, yes, I know, no game is perfect, but still, you gotta admit, it's a darn well made game. Just give it a chance, I think you'll like it. But of course, yes, there are problems like not enough lore, not enough story in the first game, and they made a contract with Activision for 10 freaking years. And we can already expect Destiny 2 in 2 years, I think. So what? That's how developers do right now stuff. They milk the good franchises. So we have no other option but to accept, or just don't buy it if you're not into it. But I digress. You know, I've been trying to make this video for a long time and I'm finally doing it, so here's the thing. Just gonna check this shit quickly. But I'm not playing that much now because I'm waiting for DLCs, obviously. And the first one is coming up this December. Bazooka. Nothing interesting. Bazooka. Oh, this sucks. Much worse than my previous one. Yeah. RNG is here very strict. That's why people don't like it mostly. Because it's really hard to get stuff in this game. But I think it's supposed to be hard. After all, it's a farming game. But yeah, like I said, I digress. Bungie made a lot of good games back then. They started even from the 90s. And well, obviously enough, I never played those games when they made them. They're all different ones. They tried different approaches. They tried shooters, they tried strategy games, they tried role-playing, different stuff. All developers do this. And the very first notable shooter games from them were Marathon. You know, that trilogy Marathon games like Marathon Durandal, and Marathon Infinity. Yes, that was the first official trilogy. And I think probably it was the very decent and the very first shooter on console. But, not on console, but it was obviously enough on PC, and then later they ported it on Xbox Arcade. I played Marathon, it was actually good. But nothing comes close to Halo. Halo was everywhere. Since the 2001, Halo was, to this day, one of the best known franchises ever created. Bungie made history in 2001, and this history still lives on. I mean, there were like trilogy of good games, there was addition to trilogy, then there was another game. Yeah, I think they even made strategy, but not them, the different developer. And did you actually know that Halo was supposed to be a strategy game until they said, screw it, we're gonna make it a first-person shooter? Yeah, that's actually true. They want to make it a strategy game, but then they said, just let it be a shooter. And I'm glad they went with this decision, although we got a strategy game in 2009 by different developers, and was also great. I actually really want somebody to make Halo Wars 2. Look at this. They made history, they made some great additions to the franchise. Here's a Halo Anniversary, the remastered version of first game. Then there was Halo 2, I don't have it on Xbox because I never owned it. Then there was obviously Halo 3 in 2007, on the best selling games on 360. Then there was Halo Wars, also great game. And there was ODST, actually a very decent one, but there was a bit problem with it that it was sold as a full game instead of like expansion pack. Yeah, there were problems with it. Not everybody liked it, but I like it for being a new hero, new campaign, new multiplayer. That's the tagline for this game, almost was like. And I kinda adore it. It's Halo 4, but it's not by Bungie, so it doesn't count. And their final game in Halo franchise was Halo Reach. And boy, I like to buy limited editions and all this stuff, because they're all packed nicely. There's this goodies, stickers and other stuff. I just adore it. It's just so great. I love it. They put a lot of work into those special editions, but my most personal favorite was this beast. Yeah, back in 2007, but I actually got it on 2008, well, months later. Halo 3 Legendary Edition. The tagline for this game was "Finish the fight," and we did finish it, but later we start a new fight. Oh boy! So much memories with Halo 3. My personal favorite game of the whole franchise. Halo 3 was the best game I ever played on Xbox. I just loved it. And everybody were blown out of it by the sheer awesomeness of this pure thing. Also looking almost the real like replica of Master Chief helmet. Wow. Some people actually made it possible to wear it actually. Well. I wouldn't mind to have one of those things in my hand, in my wardrobe. But yeah, we'll have to wait. There was nice attachment to it. To put the games into it, and the helmets will be like this here. So it was amazing, it was very cool, and the years later, most of the time, all editions were great and fully packed with goodies and stuff. And in 3-4 days there's gonna be Halo Master Chief Collection, which will contain 1 to 4 games, and 2 of them are gonna be Anniversary Remastered on Xbox One. This is gonna be great, and I'm looking forward to it. But you're all probably saying to yourself, Dimon, why are you telling me this? I played them all, I've been to them all. Swung with the best, like John Tron said. Well, you swung with the best. But you ain't seen the likes of one game that was made before the Halo 1 came out. The one game that was one of the very awesome games I ever played, and it got a really bad, well, publicity, I would say. One game I should say is very unique for Bungie standards even. It was made 10 months before Halo 1 came out on Xbox, original one obviously. It was called Oni, and it was made on PC and PlayStation 2. By the way, I never played PlayStation 2, so don't ask me how it is. It was a third-person action shooter with decent stuff. And it had everything: acrobatics, jumping, shooting, and hand-to-hand combat. So you could probably say, what, is it a cheap knockoff for future Assassin's Creed? Well, it could be if you actually could climb on stuff. Instead, you have to jump. And I must admit, jumping was very bad in this game when come to platformers. But it's not a platformer, it's just a fighting game. Like killing people and reaching your goal from A to B. Nothing serious, nothing personal. So, you wanna know why this game wasn't that popular? I don't know. I really don't know why it didn't receive much applause. Well, right now when people watch at nostalgia games, they can say, yeah, this game was great, yeah, I remember playing it, and etc, etc. Yeah, they all say that. But I don't remember somebody saying that Oni was one of the best games ever created. Well, because it isn't one of the best games ever created, but yeah. Let's just jump into gameplay and you'll see why. Obviously enough, I don't have the discs anymore, so I had to download via torrents. And it was actually the first time ever for me playing it in English, because back then it was for me a Russian one. And to say the least, nothing big happened. And when you start the game and you're in the main menu, you agree with this blast awesome music. Kind of pumps you up for future beatdown stuff. And that's a very nice touch, I must say. So you're probably thinking to yourself that, what is it, anime fighting game? Well, yeah, it's anime. And it kind of resembles a little bit of Ghost in the Shell, although I never watched it in my life. Probably a good anime show, everybody said that. But yeah, it's a third-person shooter fighting game, and mostly you're gonna do is fighting, because shooting in this game is lame and it's not very well done, I suppose. There are two types of weapons which uses, for some strange reason, red bullets and green bullets. I can't remember the energy weapons and probably ballistic weapons. Yeah, that's what they called. And there are about 8-10 different guns which share this different type of ammunition. And yeah, that's probably it. There are some good guns to use, like grenade launcher or probably railgun sniper rifle, which is very mostly one-shot kills people. But most of the time you're gonna do is just punch a guy in the face and then move on, because it's so much fun punching people in this game. And I mean it, it's really good. But the problem with also hand-to-hand combat is that it's very limited. There are usually your fighting techniques, like doing 3-hit combo, which you get from the very beginning of the game, and by the end of the game you get like 6 or 8 different moves to use. No, actually, no, I lie. About 4 or 5 different moves to use. And I'm not saying they're bad, it's just I'm not that was into using them. I was just more trying to rely on my basic type of combat. Most of the time I'm just using leg attacks instead of punching attacks, because I think leg is more powerful and it has a much better range, because leg is much longer than your hand. I don't know, guys, it just was much more appealing to me to kick a guy instead of punching him. But still, yeah, you're gonna do much more hand-to-hand combat instead of shooting people. But most of the other situations will depend. But the game is actually hard if you don't know how to defend yourself. So if you can't punch people, then you're gonna shoot them. But if you don't have ammo, then you have to punch them, and sometimes it's gonna be hard. The life bars of enemies are very interesting ones. You don't see them, but whenever you punch somebody, you see these little flashes of different colors, like red, green, blue, etc. And that's basically your life bar for your enemies. Green means they're fully health, and red they're about to die. Basic stuff, easy to guess. And blue sphere-like thing is when they're blocking. And I must say, blocking this game sucks. There's no block button. I hate when they do this bullshit idea, like you have to block enemy attacks by just standing. I know some games like to do just you walk backwards so you're blocking, but I'm not a fan of this stuff. I prefer to have a decent block button, and in this game there's no buttons at all, so you just stand still and you're hoping for your best that your character is actually blocking the attacks, and sometimes they are unblockable, so you get hit. So basically, don't block, just punch harder and try to do some evasive maneuvers, like running around with people and just doing some spin attacks and stuff. And I must say that walking around and using these different acrobatic maneuvers, they're cool looking, they're very cool. You can slide, you can jump, you can do wheel, backward wheel, and back flip, front flip. They're all cool, they're really cool, and whenever you do that, you can press Q button, and you can immediately pick up a weapon or item. So it's really cool looking, like you're doing backflip and there's a weapon behind you, you're doing this backflip and you press the Q button and you pick it up and you're ready to shoot. That's a very cool idea and I really like it. I would really like if today's games actually implement this technique, because I can't see anything like it anymore. This game, I think, is probably the only one when you can actually do slide, pick up stuff, and you know, it was really cool. And this game, I think, is probably a rare species, I should say, for this technique. The story, I don't want to spoil much because, well, I'm not into spoilers, but I can say the least that you're playing as a female character, Kanako, and she's a TCTF agent, which is probably like a police department you can call, in fictional city. I don't know where it's happening. So let's say just a nearest future. And they are fighting bad guys called Syndicate. And yeah, that's basically it. They're fighting, and then there's a little bit of storyline about the main character has some unique powers to unleash, and then there's some traitors and stuff. Well, it's a complicated, and the story doesn't make much of the sense, but still it was quite fun. And yeah, I like the game. There are 14 levels to play, and the game is quite long, I must say. So I think it's a good one. It's a really good one. Heck, if you look closely at some of the TCTF guys, which are bodyguards, and later you have to fight them. Yeah, spoiler alert, you have to. They quite resemble Master Chief from Halo series. Well, basically their helmets. They have this resemblance a little bit. And Oni is never mentioned in the whole game. So I don't know why they decided to call it like this. I have no idea. But later in Halo series you have this Oni organization in the games. When, well, if you play some games and probably mostly read the books, you understand what Oni means. I don't want to go into it much. So yeah. The game is fun. There is not much of replayability because there is no difficulty selection, but the game becomes difficult as you progress, so it's not easy. It's not easy peasy, so don't expect that the game will hold your hand throughout from A to B. No, you have to deal with the situation yourself and try to adapt to combat and difficult guys. Some of them are how they are called, guys which have a suit vest full of bombs, so when you kill them they have like 3 seconds before they explode, so you have to get away. And AI of enemies is quite alright. They want to kill you, and when they see a weapon is lying on the ground and it has bullets in it, they are gonna pick it up and use it against you, so try to not let them do it. Also there is a little bit of power-ups, like not power-ups, but there are 2 things you can also find in the game world when you walk around. It's like a shield, which energy shield, which deflects bullets but not deflects physical attacks. And there's also invisibility cloak. Yeah, you can become invisible, but it's a very rare thing to find. But mostly I would recommend, when you find your health kits, try to use them when it's really necessary. Try to survive without them mostly. So yeah, they're not much of a boss fights. I think there are like only 3 boss fights in the whole game. Somewhere in the beginning, in the middle, and the final boss, obviously. So yeah. There are 2 endings, I will say, in this game, but the main ending is the same. I will say that the mission before the final one is actually a turning point, whether you're gonna have a light-hearted ending, a little bit dark ending. But in the end, it's all the same, so I won't expect much of that. It still has a 1 ending, so yeah. The music is great. Martin Dawn, like always, was great before Halo he made, and there is actually a little bit of like reminds of reminiscence of future Halo games to come out. And yeah, the music is great, the art style anime is really cool looking. I love it. I like what they did here. The main problem, I think, with the game was it didn't deliver what it was supposed to. Many people said, and in reviews I read, that there was supposed to be a local multiplayer in this game, and it was supposed to be like a deathmatch or something else. And to be honest, I don't know how you can put a multiplayer in this game. Well, yeah, I suppose you could have like 8 players in one game and they're all fighting and kill each other. It probably could be fun, but it never happened. And there was some stuff like some deleted levels from the game. It never make into it, so yeah, many people said that there were a lot of cut content from the final version. It's a pity, but maybe because they were working for Halo. After all, it was released 10 months after Oni in the same year. So they put all the work into Halo. By the way, Oni wasn't made by Bungie, but it was made by Bungie West, so it's a little bit different group, maybe off group or off screens, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but yeah, it wasn't made like by a core team. So maybe that's why the game wasn't such a big hit back then. But still, it had a charm, and if I want, I can play this bad boy anytime I want, because it's a really good one. I highly recommend to play it, because it is a very good classic for 2001. Yeah, not from the 90s like I always do with my stuff. So yeah, I had to do something from the 21st century. And yeah, Oni is a very good game. It's very long and challenging. The jumping, of course, sucks when it comes to it, but most of the time it's challenging, it's fun, and I think you're gonna have a blast with it. Yeah, the music is great. So yeah. Bungie made a lot of good games back then, and before Halo, before Destiny, there was Oni, and before Oni there was Marathon and Myth games they also made. But for me, Oni,
Maybe I should start
one of the best games I ever played in my life, because the Halo first one I played, I think when it was first time ported on PC, and it happened two years later, and 1 year before Halo 2 hit the shelves. So yeah, that's right. I remember playing it back then when I was very young. So if you have time and if you can try it. It's a very good one. Try it on it. Very long to try it. I don't know, some stores maybe it still sell somewhere. So yeah, have fun playing it. And I think I'm going out. Well, I don't know what to say. I promise this, and here it is. I give you my word and my opinion on this game, and it's very a good one. I hold deeply to my heart. It's one of the best classics for me. So yeah, try it if you can, because it's worth it. It's worth all the time and money. Even though whenever we see what was supposed to be in there, but what I see, what I played, I experienced, I think it's enough. It's a very good game, and I highly recommend it. Yeah. Well guys, that's it for me, I suppose. 3 months and finally here's the video for you. I don't know what to say anymore, I don't know what to pick one. There are of course some games I could probably talk about, but I want to be ready for that next time, because I don't like to rush things. So yeah, see you later, guys, and thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure, and subscribe, comment, whatever you like, and just give me your opinions. Tell me what you think about games, and maybe you can recommend me something to talk about. Obviously not if I played it, because I can talk about a game which I never experienced in my life before. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later, guys. Be safe.